Hello, camera. Hello. It is me. Hi, chat. Let's get down to business. It's just good business, isn't it? Yes, hello. It's good to be here. Out the office. God, it just reminds me of just I actually like quit my morning job today so I could go on a full time, and I've got tomorrow I'll be getting that feeling of, whew, that's a lot of weight off my shoulders because I've been basically doing two almost full times at once. Kind of reminds me of Neon, so it's fun. Hard. Yeah. Luckily, it's all gonna be smooth sailing now, and I won't be feeling as tired as Conrad every day in Neon Divide. But hey, that's just how it rolls, right? So we've actually done 10 of... Yes. Alright, so... If you already don't know from the title, my name is DarthQuackers. I am what's mostly known as Conrad from Neon Divide. I work with Trident and all that kind of stuff, but what I do mainly on my main time is I'm an animator artist, full-time. Usually just do a lot of creative things, from commissions to actual studio work, whatever they want me to do, really. And on my off time, well, it's usually just art, but on the actual off time, I like to, go on VR, do some good role plays from, like I see here, like Neon Divide, what is it, Fractured Thrones, and maybe soon enough, Aphelion. That's gonna be fun. I actually need to do more art for Aphelion. I've been behind. Gotta draw that Oni girl. Yes. Okay. I blame Elden Ring 100%. Okay? You play Elden Ring, I play Elden Ring, he, she, me play Elden Ring. Elden Ring's just our lives right now until the end of the year when it gets Game of the Year, you know? That's just how it rolls. Until we play New Game Plus Plus, which they'll probably add next month. Yeah, DLC too, so yeah, they'll get Game of the Year twice, so I don't know if we'll ever escape this Elden Ring rabbit hole. Now that I'm actually off this morning job, I actually have more hours to play Elden Ring. It's fantastic. I've actually been able to play it recently. How the hell do you fit so much RP? Listen, it depends on the night, right? I have my regular nights, which is FT, then ND, and Mayday, when those roll around. And then all of a sudden, during nights, I'm like, man, I just want to hang out with my friends. And some nights I do Ascension with friends, some nights I do Purple Lows with other people. Like, it just depends if, I'm free during some nights, you know what I mean? When I'm not, hanging out with friends during, RL time. I could explain it as no sleep. As an artist, I have learned through my years of being an artist that I cannot sleep. That's just impossible. All-nighters is a usual thing. It's usual. True that, absolutely. Back when I was first working in studios, it was that usual run-of-the-mill, over 40 hours, no paid over, that's usually how it goes. I was interning, going on to more things, but, it was a big grind, you know? It would go to weeks, and then sometimes it would go to weekends, and you would go sometimes from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m., and, like, you kind of would wonder, do you want to sleep in this studio sometimes? But, again, I live, like, 10, 15 minutes away from there, so it's just, like, a lot of, Now I'm working remote, which is nice. It's beautiful. You just get up in the morning, go on the computer, be able to work while also talking to your friends at the same time. You have nothing really on your back. And I'm actually convinced the studio that I work for to actually go onto Discord. So it's fun. Yeah. Back when I was going to remote, I originally explained to them last year to use Discord, and this was back when video chats and things were kind of new, so it was kind of iffy at the time, and I couldn't really explain my point clearly. But ever since I joined the studio full time again, it's a good experience to be able to dough in my words, I would say, down my ideas, and them going along with it. So, going into this new pipeline, it's very much smoother. I went into this full time again knowing that it's going to be a smooth ride. So it's going to be fun. This was not me making that, well, partly. I had Solus, who's a real good model maker. He makes like models in a snap. He's been doing a lot of different models for people in ND and Fractured Thrones. Like he gets it real fast. Like he made this Conrad model in 2 days. Like even less than that. He probably a day. And what I did is I go in with my 2D artist self and I texture everything. So all these textures, all this art is pretty much me. So yeah, going from this and then to the jacket and the glasses, like this was very fun to work with. Oh my god. Okay. I understand that. You want to know a fun fact about this model? Is that the glasses, the original model before it was changed was Tony Stark's glasses. But they changed the lens and the frames and everything to fit to the concept art that I gave him for Conrad. So it works out. So, not entirely wrong. Not entirely wrong at all. Oh goodness. That was actually it's a long story really. Getting the idea to becoming a newscaster actually wasn't my idea. If you know Miss Conoco, they were one of the first people that really got me into these RPs, as well as like Mr. Brunswick and all that kind of stuff, but they were really the one. I was just one day with PL with them just memeing around, and all of a sudden they were like, hey, we need a newscaster, like specifically a newscaster for the name before Trident, you know, the whole deal in season 2. And they're like, we need this extra spot, but nobody wants to become a newscaster because of how big of a job it is. What do you want to do in? Because originally they wanted the newscaster for season 2 to be able to create newscasts every episode. And I was able to do that minus like 3 to 4 of them back at the beginning. But basically in short, oh, I need to fix myself. Give me a second. Oop. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait. Nope. Oh. This cursed couch is cursed. All right, but yes, anyways, yes, you told me that was cursed. I believe you now. But yeah, I was talking to them in PO and they're like, "Can you do this thing for well, now it's Neon Divide?" I'm like, I've heard of this thing. I've been on its map. I've heard of this project. It's like huge. And I was originally going into this like with almost no RP experience. I'm a theater nerd. I used to be in thespians. I used to do improv. So I know this whole thing. I know how to do this whole experience. I've done actual roles before and everything, but I've never actually done VR chat RP, if you know what I mean. And so when I went into that, I'm like, am I really suited? And it was a very hard and strenuous process to get into it because, to not explain, but I basically had to do a demo reel, actually, of me doing newscasts to get accepted into the role. But, yeah, wow. But that all aside, like, that and, like, Fractured Thrones about started at the same time, and that was really my start of VR Chat RP. Good job, yeah. It was merely a thing of luck, because at first, when corp characters were getting accepted, they were literally looking at all the members, and they were looking at me, and they were like, okay, fine. It was like a split decision. I was, like, 50-50, I was going in and out depending on what they had in their mind. So, but that aside though, yeah, Miss Conoco has really gotten me into a lot of VRPs, and I'm pretty grateful for what they've done. Oh, absolutely. I remember they've gotten a lot of people into the RP scene. From just, I remember when I was doing, like, small things for, like, curry games, being an extra for, like, fun, wacky shit, and then just doing PO and whatever, because I just like doing acting in general, right? Back when I was off of theater, why not just do it, you know, on my off time? And so this is a good thing to being able to express it while at home. And I was just given those opportunities just off of a luck chance. And I was quickly able to get into those scenes. Interest for theater. It was a lot of different things. Back when what is it? Back when I was a kid, my dad actually worked in worked in both music, so he had a band, and then he always told me that he was in theater back in the day, back in high school, and, you know, I'm like, okay, and then, you know, all of a sudden, on an off chance, I joined a tech theater class. Like, it was just an elective that was open. I'm like, okay, this is not much, won't do acting, and then all of a sudden, she got all of us tech theater kids to actually do, actual improv and actual theater stuff while being, you know, just techies, you know, getting the, what is it? The projectors all up, the lighting, the sound, you know, the spotlights, like, and she really like introduced us into the whole thing of acting, and that really got me interested, my theater teacher. And from there, I went from like very shy, like, oh, basically talking the voice, hey, how's it going? You know, very low voice, and having this kind of projected voice. Like, theater changes a person, definitely. Like, it's weird. I didn't believe my dad whenever he said it back before I did. He's like, theater changes someone. And it just does. So that's one thing I recommend for people is, like, even if, like, you're out of school or whatever you do, if you find, like, a theater class in your area and, like, practice improv, go for it. It's fun. No one will shame you for it. Like, if you're, you know, not used to it, then yeah, they'll encourage you to be better, you know? Any cool stories from oh my goodness. Ugh. So I was an extra, for a big production. I forget what it's called. It was a while ago. But basically, I was ensemble extra, ensemble extra. Like, these are like scenes that I'm rolling out, right? These are different scenes where I'm having to be different roles, having different outfits. So I went from ensemble, you know, doing a dance for the main cast or whatever on the back with one outfit. Then on the next very scene, I have to do an outfit change to be a conductor of a train, to being a main extra, to be the showrunner of the scene, basically. I'm the one who starts the scene. And then from there, I have to be in a country bumpkin, you know, like plaid, you know, long sleeve and pants and, you know, all that kind of stuff, going straight into that for an ensemble scene. Like, it was a crazy production. Stressful. For sure. Like, we practiced for months, and I hate how I don't remember the name of the whole thing. I'll think of it later, but yeah, I basically just went from role to role to role to role, and that really got me to practice of how to really improv my way into things, because half my lines that I did around the end, like the last 2 days of production, like the first day I was like all with the lines, but for the last 2 days I improv'd the hell out of what I did, and people loved it. And one funny thing about that production is that I had to learn French. For the conductor, I had to be like, what is it? Beaumont Sumer, Canzaminions. Like, it's a boarding thing, a boarding saying for like conductors, and I had to practice the hell out of that because I can't do accents for the hell of me. So I'm just like, I went from that to being like total American to doing country, you know. It's like, it's doing all that in one production. That's kind of what got me really interested in theater, because that was the first production where I was able to actually be a main actor, kind of a big part in. You mentioned dancing. Yes. Ensemble had to do with a lot of dancing. There's a lot of dance numbers, choreography, you know. I used to do pantomiming over for competitions. So I used to act out entire scenes with no objects around. I would have to make it so I would have... It's basically miming, but it's going towards a theme, going towards a scene. So I guess that's where my whole thing of VRRP comes in. Like, if we're trying to put that into it. One reason why I really wanted to get into it is because a lot of VRRP is pantomiming. You have to really act out what's not there, and have to act out the weight of things, have to act... In FT, we have to wield weapons that supposedly have the weight of things, or, you know, having to carry boxes, or whatever it be, right? And so, that's the kind of acting I like to push, is expressions, more than anything. If I could add something to Aphelion, what would it be? Ooh, that's a good question. I like always putting in the sense of mystery to a whole world. Right now I'm making a short story to the Empyrean race, of the mystery of the Empyreans, and, you know, why the way they are and everything, and what they had to struggle through to actually just live in the life of who they are. And so I have that, and, you know, I drew the Collectors, which, you know, are a bounty hunter unit for the whether the Chilai or the Chiex. Yeah, the lizard race. Like, I do eventually want to do some short story, you know, somebody being chased by them, you know, the whole horror of it, like the mystery of what they are and, you know, what they can do. I always like the mystery being unfolded in current time. So if I like want to add anything to Aphelion, it's like something for people to explore. And that's a very vague answer, I know, but just something that pops to the eyes, and get someone interested into that. So for instance, like that weapon right there, like, what is that weapon? You roll up into this facility, but you see this giant weapon behind us. What does it do? Why does it exist? Why did they make it? You know what I mean? Yeah, try to bring it up there. Yeah. Like, of course you could just say it's, low poly BFG cannon, right? From Doom. But, like, it could really be like a cannon, protecting against, large monstrosities. Or, it could just be an AA cannon, protecting from large aircraft coming onto surface. Who knows? But it's those kind of things that I like to explore. And characters, more so characters in general, I like to explore. That's why I love doing VRRPs, is making characters for people to unfold. I think that's why I kind of like your character in Neon because to as well. It's like they have their bit of being bossy or whatever, and trying to get things done, sponged, very strict. But then there's those little moments to where they allow, for instance, like there was a scene of Conrad, being able to have that extra thing of alcohol, or just like them actually like it's been a day. Like, that's the kind of stuff I really like in the story, bringing depth and everything to. We call ourselves Team Rocket. We really are. But it's a little bit of depth, a little bit of humanity in the mystery. It's like, what got these people to this point? What got these people to be in this part of this corporation? Yeah. Humanizing characters. I love them. Like, there's a point of, like, me wanting to show off Conrad more as, like, evil. But there's only so much time that I have, with him this season in the story that I'm kind of wanting to tell. Because first season was him going up the ladder, right? Being all corporate, no development at all. Really. He was just doing it was the struggle. He was getting bags under his eyes, and this is kind of the season for him to be like, this is my goal that I've been wanting to accomplish. Half of my goal is done. I'm up here now. Let me sit down and figure out the rest of my life. Oh my god. Okay. So this actually ties real well with me being in animation. Back when I was in animation, I really started out as a production assistant. I wrote before I worked in the animation part full time. They made me move on the production side real time, which is me making schedules, me creating meetings, me sometimes when the coordinator was gone, I would have to manage full animation teams internationally from other countries, like up to 20-25 people at once. And so they really put me on the grind, as I said, like from 10 a.m. to like maybe sometimes 4 a.m. But it really pushed me to like new heights and new experiences that really grew my talent of networking, I would say. And I kind of want to push that into this character. You did 3 meetings at once. So, context of that, I know what they're talking about. So, there was one time where I had Craver meeting and waiting in one room, had Astral in the office room, and I think Geb in the main meeting room. And so I was in Astral, quick, out, Craver, in, out, and then talk to Geb, in, out. But these were 3 people wanting meetings with me at the same time, and I got those done for like 5 minutes each. 1 minute for Geb. Yes, the extraordinary 1 minute meeting. That tired me, actually. Like, in and out of character. It takes a while. It took me a whole season to get used to this whole meetings and Neon Divide corporate RP kind of stuff, you know what I mean? It's gonna take you a full season. Back when I was first being Conrad as a news anchor, I used to go every day. I would say the tour around the world, basically going to shuttles to each corporation, trying to get contacts. Nobody knew him at the start. So I really had to put out my effort and try to be going to every corporation. And now this season, we've made an effort to where every corporation comes to us, because now that I was able to, well, more so Trident in general was able to build that reputation. Got rid of all that work and got them coming to us instead. It's just good business, baby. Really. Oh, goodness. You're getting me on a tangent with this one. So, I first started out in the Fractured Thrones community. It's just an extra that, again, I started this at the same time as I did Neon Divide. It was known by nobody but Kaneko. Was known by, like pretty much no one. So I started out in the RP as, this nurse character, because there was no other slots to be filled. And so they were an NPC nurse that was an assistant to a surgeon, right? And so I had to do a female voice and all that kind of stuff because I wanted to do the role. I didn't want to do a male nurse because that's just not doing it right? So I did this, and it turns out this nurse became so important that people turned to them to be the main surgeon by the end of the season before they died at the end of the season. They were supposed to last 3 episodes. But they lasted until two episodes before the season end. And goodness, they're still talked about this day in season 2. Oh goodness. Like, I didn't know what I was really going into when I was starting out as that character. At first I'm like, man, I really want to kill this character off. But then I came up with ideas of how to tell their story and how to make it more than just, an NPC. Because I wanted to really flesh the NPCs out. And I guess that was kind of the start of the trend of, like, NPCs aren't NPCs. They're, they're as important as everything else. And so I really wanted to start that trend and really got them to tell a story. And it was really fun in the end. Got to tell a really good story, and I gave a character a dagger, and they used it for a mission, and it's spiraling all these events, and everything is changing within the world. Like I could tell you a small sequence of events. She gave this character a dagger with her name on it. This person then used the dagger to kill a noble lord. They left the dagger there accidentally because they ran out of time. The noble house, the last daughter of that noble lord, found that dagger. They wanted a curse upon it of Kells. That's the name of the character, Kells. So, because the name was written on the knife or the dagger. And so I'm like, wait a second. And so I asked Brunswick, I'm like, what if we in season 2 made their mother a mercenary? Because it makes sense, because her character fought with a spear based off of what her mother did, right? And so I decided to make a new character, which is the mother, And now this whole noble house is searching for her daughter. And she's searching for her daughter, who she doesn't know where she is. Sounds like a mess. Yes. And so, what it all drowned out to is that the mother died, and she was a big respect to the mercenary company. Because, you know, they false flagged her for her daughter's knife that wasn't even used by her daughter. And it drove this lord to kill the entire noble house. Or not the lord of the mercenary company. Because he was so mad at it that they would kill her. And it drove this whole thing. Guards got killed. Multiple lords got killed. Like, everything spiraled out of control. They moved to a different country. War was breaking on because of this one dagger. FT is crazy. FT really runs on the yes and. Bruns usually has an idea for what they want to do for you know, just a basic story. But he says from the very start, like, it has not gone anywhere where he thought it would. In any ways, it's expanded. In any ways, it's, you know, quickly gone on. Sometimes it's, like, you know, some storylines get cut. Like, for instance, her mother getting killed by that lord, that was supposed to be the start of an arc. She was supposed to live through that torture and through that tragedy to be able to talk to the other characters, but she died instantly. So it's kind of hilarious how the world just grows naturally. Yeah. Like, here's the thing, like, Bruns always says in the meetings, like, if you have any ideas, you know, don't let it be stupid. Don't let it be too crazy. But if you have, like, any interesting ideas to put into FT as an NPC or, you know, well, as, what did they call it? Like, dialogue NPCs or whatever it be. Like, if you have any ideas as an NPC or a player character, fetch them to him. The worst that you can say is no. I've had a lot of no's, but I've also had a lot of yeses. So, it's been a very good and fun journey. And now I'm starting season 2 as a cook. That's become a tavern keep. That's become an officer for a whole flank. That's become blah, blah, blah. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, now I have a whole new character. And that's, well, he's been going on for 80 episodes now. And he's getting close to the end of the season. So we'll see how that goes. Oh, absolutely. I'm enjoying Mayday so much. Right now we're on a bit of a hiatus due to, you know, IRL situations. You know, IRL comes up and everything. But when I'm able to get into Mayday, I always like going into, because I really experimented with something that I don't really do. I usually play humans when it comes to humans or, you know, half elves or whatever. I'm usually the bare minimum when it comes to RP, because I like to explore humanity. But this time, I wanted to explore an experiment trying to become human. And so, going from this little journey of, like, being the only character of this race in this RP, Tosha, you know, VR Trapman, he's pretty much given me the reins of, like, you know, what this race is, you know, like, how it works, and, you know, I've talked to DMs of, like, hey, can I do this with this character? Would my character be able to, because they can, like, shoot off fire from their hands or whatever, because, you know, their blood, you know, It's very cool science fiction stuff. Are there any? That's a hard question. Let me think. Plots or stories that I want to see in an RP. I've always wanted to have an idea of a one-off RP. No dice rolls, no nothing. Just, I had this idea, right? Of like 5 player characters. Just 5 or just a squad of people. Just like people I can trust that can get the role done. Try to get a character to really grow in the span of a 4 to 6 hour session. Get one map, get 5 player characters, get a lot of NPCs in there. Drop them in a world and see if they'll be able to survive it for a day. It's going to be hardcore. It's going to be easy to die if you don't know what you're going to do. A world, yeah. So I would like, eventually when I get the money or whatever it be, or, if I somehow find a way to make maps or however it be, I just want to create something new, something that people don't know. Of course, it might be related to a few things like Aphelion, there's some ideas from mixed match here and there, or whatever it be. But I just kind of, more than a world, I just more so want to create a story that's built within such amount of time. A one-shot. And see what people do with it. Bring people that I can trust to do it. And just them having a fun time of discovery. And And hey, if people want to do more with it, then sure, I'll build more or whatever. But I just want to have that one experience where, like, this one night was fantastic. That's something you don't see every day. Me and Shinny talk a lot when it comes to ideas and plots and relevancies. Like when it comes to even like ND, like we always, bash our brains together and try to come up with cool ideas of what to do in the China meetings. Like we always talk. Like it's like, maybe this is a cool idea. You know what? Maybe change the wording of this and maybe make it better in this way. Turn it to be like this. Like we always like bounce each other's ideas off, and we talk about Aphelion. I'm like, what if the Empyreans could do this? What if some Empyreans have lived long enough to where they can manipulate their bodies to do this? Or, this is my art, how does it work? Do I have any projects right now? As of personal projects for myself, there's one I'm working on and off that's more of a comic that I'm working on / animation. Although it's still in the concept stages, the first big chapter of it, the first arc of it, I would say, is written, and it was published. But and I got like a college award or whatever it be, and but I haven't worked on it since then, and it was a fantastic project. It's just like I need to wait until I'm ready to be able to go with it full swing. So anyone or anything I would like to promote? One thing two things I would like to promote. One, Aphelion, of course. Because fucking magic, am I right? Like, I can't wait to see that world all come together. Like, all the brainstorming that's going on, all the people that are joining the server as of recent, and all these people butting ideas together and trying to come up with awesome stuff. Like Lyra making that new model, and it's just craziness going along there. But I also like to promote, just the general Fractured Thrones community as well with Mr. Brunswick. Gigabits works a lot in that. Gigabits is going to be working in Aphelion too. Like, just such cool people because, and one last thing is like Mayday. We're getting on a big turning point of the season. It's becoming a fight per session. It's becoming a lot of fun. A lot. Well, I was to say, between Neon Divide, Fractured Thrones, and Mayday right now, we're really getting our climaxes right now, or at least the start of it. So it's a really big time to, if you ever want to look at VRRP streams, now would be the definite time to look at what VRRP can be at its peak right now. Yeah. So yeah, that's basic things I would like to promote. Nothing really to promote on me. I'm DarthQuackers, but you can find that name on social media anywhere, basically. I post art once every millennia. So yeah, that's basically it on my part. It's been real fun. Oh my goodness, no. No, you're fascinating. Sorry, the Keanu Reeves from Mr. Reynolds got to me. But yeah, it's just been a journey. I've been lucky to have so many opportunities. Like, I wouldn't even got like as I said, like I would have not even gotten to Neon Divide as well because I remember when I first started out, I just did fan art for like what is it? Ascension Academy, what is it? Neon Divide. Like I just did art for different people and their characters. And that got me to talk to like Falcona and Haven and Brunswick and all these other people, and that just got me quickly put in, I'm just very lucky to get into that opportunity. And it's been a fascinating journey for sure. Yeah, let's take a photo. And of course, Neon Divide in an hour. It's going to be fun. It's going to be action-packed. We know that. No spoilers, though. Wait, you don't know that? You don't know it's going to be action-packed? You have a desk job. Hey. I mean, like, in general, alright? In general. It's going to be action-packed. Conrad may get an injury or two this episode. Alright, let's get in. I have my noise expression on. Whoops. Jeez. I had my annoyed expression on during this entire interview. Oh my goodness. But now it's better. I think that just goes over his entire expression throughout this RP in his head. Needs a drink. Exactly. See, we're in this interview, we're in this meeting right now. He hasn't had his drink yet. I think that's the issue. But it's good having it. Well, it's good to be on. Absolutely. Yeah, it's Neon Divide. Gotta get some things done, but good seeing you all, and, see you out there. Bye-bye.